Join us. Where are you calling us from and your affirmations? Great evening from Orlando. Welcome, welcome. This is the largest economic empowerment movement in the history of mankind. Welcome from Jacksonville. Welcome from Charlotte. Welcome, welcome. Great evening from Toledo. I am an educated, bold, and confident BYOB master trader, anointed for wealth in all my trades and in profit. That's right. Excellent, excellent. I compound my account daily with $500 plus per day. Excellent. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Drop it in the chat where you're calling us from and your affirmations. We know that when we affirm ourselves, we create our future in advance. So let's affirm that we are a billionaire. I am an educated trader. Therefore, I'm a profitable trader. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yes, drop it in the chat. From Milwaukee, welcome. Where are you calling in from? We are going to begin momentarily. As you join us, drop it in the chat. This is Market Talks. Good evening from Chattanooga. Good evening from Minnesota. Welcome, welcome. The market pays me daily. Yes, patience, patience, profit. That's right. Warren Buffett talks about those who are patient. They get all the money from those who don't have patience in the market. In South Carolina, you're an educated trader. Yes, you are. Excellent, excellent. As you join us, drop it in the chat. Where are you joining us from? Affirm yourselves. Let's go. Good evening from Miramar. Make sure you're sending your partners text reminding them not to miss Market Talks. Remember, an educated trader is a profitable trader. We are impacting and empowering 2 million families by March 28, 2022. Let's do it together. Welcome, welcome. As you join us, drop it in the chat where you're joining us from and your affirmations. All right. From LA, Los Angeles, God is faithful. Yes, he is. From Waukesha, welcome, welcome, welcome. Great evening from Milwaukee. Welcome. As you join us, drop it in the chat. Great evening from Minnesota. Make sure you all share the live stream on Facebook. We need to expose as many people as we can to this movement to impact and empower 2 million by March. Great evening from Cleveland. This is live streaming, y'all. Make sure you share the live stream on Facebook, on your social media platforms. Now, if this is your first time joining us tonight, I want you to drop a 111 in the chat. And if you have been with us, you're seasoned, you're still learning how to trade, drop a 222 in the chat. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my privilege. Remember, keep inviting folks. We want everybody to hear how the market talks to us. Make sure you share the live stream. It is indeed my privilege to bring before you a woman who truly is a woman of God. You know, she is someone I have a tremendous amount of respect for. She has a background that's simply amazing. She is a retired major from the United States Army, where she led hundreds of soldiers, led them. She then has a background as a financial advisor, a real estate professional. Ladies and gentlemen, she created the BYOB cash out strategy. What she's done is simplified something that has been made complex forever. It typically takes years of training, years of education to learn what it is that she teaches us in just a matter of weeks or months. And so she's impacting thousands of lives right now worldwide because of this strategy and because of her commitment to making sure that everyone knows how to be their own bank. She's a success coach. She's a marketing guru, and she does it all with grace and style. She's a mother, she's a grandmother. She makes no excuses, and she's always leading by example. Yes, she's an average breaker. So please help me bring to the Zoom line my friend, my business partner, my success coach and mentor, none other than the trade whisperer herself, Miss Tasha M. Dyer. Miss Dyer, are you there?
Absolutely, absolutely, I am. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BYOB Market Talks, where we are building and learning how to have a relationship with the market. Now, before we dive in here this evening, let me just first thank Miss Anderson, right? You guys know who she is, bringing it every Tuesday. Our PIP master, right? Our basics educator. Now, I'm telling you, you want to hear what she has to say. You want to make sure you're tuned in when she speaks, when she teaches, when she educates. I'm telling you, the woman has known nothing but success. Featured in Success from Home magazine 10 times. And let me tell you, why do you think she's the one showing you how to do 10 figures and 6 figures? I said 10 figures. Let's take it up a notch, right? Why do you think she's the one showing you how to do 6 figures in 6 months? Because she's already walked it out, where she's done over 75 million in sales, helped tens of thousands of people. So I'm just here to tell you right now, this is why you're in the right place at the right time with the right movement. And I am definitely excited about that. So, just like our Wealth Connector will tell you, I know a movement, and BYOB is that movement. Be your own bank. So what I'm gonna do right now is, I see you guys still jumping on, still dropping it in the chat, still putting it in there. But what I do want to make sure, if you were not on, if this is your first time here with us this evening, go ahead and put a 111 in the chat. You've never been on a Market Talks before. You've never done this advanced call before. You've never done that. I want a 111 in the chat. So welcome, and welcome back, every last one of you all. Welcome, and welcome back. All right, guys, let me get my screen shared together. Let's dive in, and I'm gonna tell you how these calls work. So Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Did you hear me? Yes, I said 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What we're doing is we are in the market. We are taking the tools, that we are taking the information that we learn on this call, right? We're taking that and we're showing you how to navigate the markets. Now, what we do on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's the basics with our PIP master, who you just heard from. And she's laying out and laying down the foundation of what this movement is, the foundation and the basics of the BYOB cash out strategy. So you want to make sure you're tuned in. And then, of course, on Wednesday is BYOB Cash Out HFX Simplified. So for those of you all who want to walk in options. And then, of course, tonight, right? Tonight is our advance, where we're going to look at tools. We look at the tools. We look at understanding market structure, right? We take this just a little bit deeper, and that's ultimately what we do tonight. And so where we're going to begin, okay? So we all know I'm going to walk you through the strategy. And before, one of the things that we do, I'm walking through the strategy, but I want you to understand mindset. I want you to understand a few things. Now, we always check the news. And we've been talking about the news and impact market, right? We've been talking about that for the last few weeks, for the last few Thursdays. Now, understanding when we walk you through that, and we want you to make sure you dive into it. Now, tomorrow is NFP. Tomorrow is non-farm payroll. And tonight, so I had a tool in mind that we were going to go over. I had a tool in mind that we were going to evaluate, but it had no movement today. And so what we're going to do is make some adjustments, right? We're going to make a shift, but I want to keep my promise to you all. And I want to make sure that we analyze the tool to really kind of show you exactly how we dive into the market, right? What we're doing, you know, what you're looking for. And I want you to understand, if you don't understand anything else when you get off this call, my 111s and my 333s, right? 333s, don't drop anything in the chat. But if you don't understand anything else, is how important it is for you to be educated and properly educated. And we're going to emphasize that, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to show you a tool. I am going to show you a tool, but I'm also going to walk you through so you can understand. Because just like today, if we go back to our trades, I saw 777s on this, right? We walked through this. We made sure we understood this. And you guys were cashing out as we were getting off the call. You know, you had already took it, but this is that zone and needed to break. And of course, it did that. So this is what we did on the morning calls. Now, this one stayed inside of the channel. This actually was calling for a sale. Remember, it was calling for a sale. So because you are educated and you understand analyzation, this is why this call is important, because you're educated and you understand. So on our Tuesday night call, what happens is you understand the basics, the foundation, blue line cross over the red. You grasp that, but right, that's building a strong foundation. That's really laying out a solid foundation. But after that solid foundation, you have to be able to build upon that. And so what we do is we build upon that. So what happens is some of you guys will get stuck there. You'll stay there because you're making some money, you understand it, but you're not advancing that skill set. You're not taking it to the next dimension. You want to lay the foundation to your house, but you don't want to put up the walls. Well, guess what? If you want to walk in wealth and understand these 6 figures in 6 months, education is continuous. I'm always a student. Yes, I can make some money, but I didn't come here for gas money. We came here for legacy shift and legacy change. And that's ultimately what we're about to do. So that's from this morning. It kept us from, right? We looked all of these this morning, but what we're gonna do, and no, I didn't clear this up. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, right? Because I wanted those markups to stay. I needed them to still be there, right? That's ultimately, you know, what I was looking for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop down to the 15. We're gonna start here, okay, guys? And then we're gonna pull a tool, and then we're gonna implement it and show you why it's important, okay? That's what's gonna happen tonight, all right? That's what we're gonna do. Now, I'm a strong believer in, excuse me, I'm a strong believer. All right. So I'm a strong believer in our tools, you know, really you being able to utilize the tools, but I'm a strong believer in not blindly taking a trade. So no matter where you get it from, because tonight I was going to go over the swipe trades, right? That's the signals that they send out. But I'm a strong believer in you being able to utilize the tools, but you're not taking a blind trade where you're educated. You understand how to come in here, how to analyze, how to take the trades for yourself. And so that's ultimately, you know, like I said, what we want to get to is walking you guys through the tools, and we're going to be incorporating the things that we've been doing, which, you know, the psychological levels, our pivots, you know, trends, channels, all of those things. So you're going to see how we put all that together, right? You're going to see how we incorporate all of that. So let's go ahead and talk BYOB cash out strategy from the foundation, from the beginning. Now, we're in GBP USD. Now, before I even do that, there are 3 different steps that we take, like 3 different things that we walk through. And so I want you to see something before we even get into the strategy. So this is the market. I squinch up the charts. Yes, I said squinch up, okay? If you guys been on this call longer than 2 weeks, you know that I say squinch up. And I do that because I know it's not proper English, but I do that because I want you guys to be able to remember. Like, I want you to think about it, give you something to think about when you're trading, when you're doing it, because you're not going to remember me saying, well, guys, I need you to properly, you know, if I'm saying it like, well, I need you to zoom in and zoom out on the charts, and I need you, you know, you'd be like, what did she say? But if you're sitting there and you're like, what did she say? Oh, she said squinch, right? She said squinch up the charts. So you'll come squinch up the charts because you'll remember what I said. So before you guys start correcting me. So now as I'm looking here, okay, what you're seeing, you see market. On my higher time frame, I see market, right? I see the market. Remember, we're building a relationship. So what I need you to grasp right here, my hour, my 4 hour, we see the market. Now here on my 15 and my 30 minute, okay, what you're seeing is a lot more. You're seeing like the entry, like not the entry points, but what you're seeing is activity. You're seeing structure. Like the higher time frame, I see structure, I see the market, I see where it's going. My 1530, you kind of see where you can get good analyzation, where you can start making decisions on how you want to take the trade. And then on my lower time frames is entry. Okay. So remember, as I look at this chart, as I'm seeing this chart, I'm looking at the exact same chart. I'm looking at the exact same thing, right? So this price does not move. This is real price. Let me get my countdown, the counts bar on here. All right. This is my real price. So you have, look, okay, for those of you who are on a morning call, look how tight this is before I keep going. You see how tight this is? You have your real price and your Hikinashi price, right? Do you see how tight this is? That means we have good market, right? This is real close. So remember our Hikinashi price, I'll walk you through the strategy in a minute, but remember how off it was on one of the ones the other day? Okay, good, you guys do remember. So whenever I see something, I'm gonna point it out. So this, there's not a lot of indecision in the market, right? It's not a lot of, the market is kind of running a little smooth. You want, the closer this is, the better. When we first put it, it was real tight. It was tighter than what it is right now, even though it's still tight. All right. So what you're seeing, all right, if I'm on a 4-hour, my price is my price. My Hikinashi price might change, but my price is my price. Remember, this one is my real price. This is my Hikinashi price. Now watch, from time frame to time, it's not changing right now because it's so tight, but I've seen it change. And that's because this is based off of the Hikinashi candles. So this is a good idea to have this open if you can't use here. Some of you guys will preference being able to see it here. I preference this. I don't like a lot of distraction. And so because I can tune things out, don't get me wrong, but I mean in my face. So I'll end up closing this where I'm looking at these two numbers. So whichever one that you look at, right? Whichever one that you utilize, just notice that the price is the price no matter what time frame I'm on. The price is the price. It didn't move, did it? And so the point I'm trying to get you guys to see is that this is the same market. I don't care what time frame you're on the same market. You see me flipping around and everything, the candles look different, right? Things look a little bit different, but it's the exact same market. And so when you understand that all you're doing is looking at the market from a different viewpoint, then that's how you analyze. Like that's what you're looking for. That's what you're seeing. That's it. You're just seeing the market from a different viewpoint. That's really what's happening, right? That's actually what's transpiring. So hold on. I'm like, why do I hear my voice in the background? That was the string. All right. So now, now let's go ahead and let's analyze a strategy so you can understand. Now I am going to give you a historical trade. So we're going to analyze a historical trade because this is training. In the morning calls, you notice we have definitely been doing live trades as we walk through pulling live trades to analyze and show you guys exactly how to implement this. That's what we're doing in the morning because we want to make sure you know how to go back in and do the same thing. So 15-minute chart. Now you understand why I'm on a 15-minute chart. All my 111s, you all need to be on this 15-minute chart. I'm telling you. And once again, this is where you start making decisions, right? You can start seeing good entry points and things like that. It's not your entry, but it is if you're a 111. But as you build your skill set, you'll see how you can start dropping down and how the lower time frames help you enter. So right now, I'm gonna talk to you from the 15-minute perspective, but I'm gonna still walk you through 15. I'm gonna walk you through the my time frame confluence, and I'm gonna walk you through the higher time frame, okay? So let's look at this right here. My blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum, right? Blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. I have my green candle with a flat bottom and my PSR flip to the bottom, right? That's what I have right there. So noticing blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum, green candle, flat bottom, PSR flip to the bottom. Now, understanding this, my stochastic is a leading indicator. That is why I'm looking at this. So this is either gonna be from here around this 80, cross over and cross down, and also here around this 20 cross over and cross up. Now, I want to make sure, yes, you saw us take a trade from up here earlier. We did. We analyzed it. It called for a sale. We talked about the market, and obviously it had a buy opportunity. Now, you can't do this right now. If you are a 111, you're not doing this, okay? You're not doing that. You're looking for a blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum, blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum around the 20. That comes when you start understanding the things that I just talked about, the things that I just went through. That's when you'll be able to start doing it, because you have to be able to see how the time frames flow together. So if it's not there, it's not there. I want you guys to be consistent in your trade account. So now this is what we're looking for: my lagging indicators, my leading indicator. My lagging indicators, my leading indicator. This is my momentum indicator. This is my trend indicator. This is my dynamic support and reversal, like a trailing stop and reverse, right? A trailing stop loss indicator. These are my 3 indicators that I'm utilizing. Now, you notice I have my strategy and alignment. You also know I don't have any tools still, right? We talked about that briefly, but this is not the one we're using tonight. So blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, green candle, flat bottom, PSAR, flip to the bottom. BYOB cash out strategy right here. Now we want to use time frame confluence. I go up to my hour. From my 15, I go to my hour. Now, why do I go to my hour? Well, it's what we call a factor of 4, 5, or 6. In this factor of 4, 5, or 6, what you're looking for, right? That's the only multiplication you have to do. You do some addition and subtracting, counting pips. You do some multiplication, right? So don't ever tell me you can't do math. If you know what's in your check account, if you know what you're supposed to get paid, you calculate your hours by your base pay, then you could calculate the time frame by 4 times 5 or by 6, okay? That's it. You can do that math, you can do this math. So now here, right, when you see it's moving up, okay, right here with my stochastic is still buying, you see I have a green candle. I'm not concerned about a wick, not concerned about a PSAR. Now, why is that? Because I'm not waiting on the setup on this time frame. However, because it's been buying, what it's doing is coming out of a correction, so it's still buying, but you're concerned about making sure that this is moving upward. And then of course, because that stochastic had that little bit of curve in it right there, it really happened right around here where it's moving up, but you can confirm it by dropping down to my 30. You can confirm that right there if you want. And that's only because it's GBP. If it was anything else, we would not do that. Guys, if you got questions, comments, or testimonies while we're going through this, drop it in the chat. Now, that's the higher time frame. When I come down to my 5 minute, this is going to be clear for you in a minute. You know, you see that we're still buying. Now, this, what you'll notice 99% of the time is when I drop down to my 5 minute, like this is where I got the flat bottom candle, you'll notice that the 5 minute had already started buying, right? You already would have had a good entry point. Not in this situation, but 99, I'm making that number up, but it's a very high percentage that is already buying. So for example, most of the time when you flip the chart, you'll see that we're here with the 15 minute and the 5 minute is already kind of moving into that flat bottom direction. So like what I'm saying is you would have been about right here. Let me widen this so you can see what I mean. So here we are on a 5 minute chart. This would have been that 15 minute candle. And you guys have seen that? And when you drop down, the 5 minute had already started buying. Well, guess what? When you understand the higher, don't do it till you understand the higher time frames. But when you understand the higher time frames, that's when you can drop down and use the 5 as your tighter entry. But if I'm gonna use it as a tighter entry, I have to have my stochastic. I must have everything in alignment for the strategy, right? The flat bottom and the PSAR if I'm gonna use it for a tighter entry, because that's when it's breaking that support and resistance line, and that's when it's starting to move through there. Now, do I have any questions so far? Any questions, right? Any questions? I want to make sure I get to the tools. So I'm kind of moving through this, but that's why I'm telling you, you want to be on Tuesdays as well and on the mornings, because we walk you through the trades. But Tuesdays, the entire call is dedicated at making sure you understand what I'm going over right now. So I now want to do my step 3, right? I want to do my step 3. And what that is making sure that you understand where we are in the market. So that's when I have to squinch up the charts. You notice if I'm here, I don't know where I am in the market. And this is where I see a lot of you all live. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. It looks good. It looks good from that perspective. It looked like I could take a buy, but I don't know where I'm at. And I need to know where the road ends. I need to know, where the road stops. I need to know that. And so you want to check that hour and 4 hour. Now, once again, that's not the confluence. That's why we kind of break it down in different phases. So you got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And so you can call it what you want. Step 1, phase 1, step 2, phase 2, however you want to identify it, you need to do all 3 parts. And it's very important that you understand I do all 3 parts right now, because we just talked about the different types of markets that we have. We have different types of markets. We are in a market right now. Understand that economic market, the market is just nice and smooth, right? When we have nothing but economic events, those red folders that come around from time to time, when those things happen, the market is so nice and smooth. If you were trading before COVID, the market was so smooth. The market was just, you understood when to get in a trade, when to get out the trade. It was just smooth. Let me get my 10 pips, cash out, right? But since COVID happened, you had a lot of, you have a lot of political factors in the market. It's still a very good market. The market is beautiful. The market is great. The market is good. And so the reason I'm saying it, you want to have the open mind, but this is why this movement focuses on your education. Because in order for you to trade in any market, you have to be able to be wealthy in the market, you have to be able to understand the market moves. Like how, if you have a successful marriage, and put it like this, because I don't need you guys looking at the market like, right? In order to have a successful marriage, you have to understand your spouse. You have to understand how they move. You have to understand how they are in different seasons. You have to understand how they operate. That's where your success. If you think you're going to treat them the same all the time, then guess what? You're not going to be successful. And so this is why it's important to understand the market. And when you understand the market, no matter what mood they're in, you could walk out in success. You could walk out profitable. I can walk out with profit. And that's the exact same thing. And so do you see, people still want to get married, right? So we still want to trade. Because what I'm saying for you is not for you to be like, oh my gosh, you mean it's politics? No, I mean that you just need to understand how it moves. When it moves, we move. How we move, we can't move it. We move with the market. So, well, thank you. Thank you. So now, let's look, right? Let's look. So now I understand where I am. So where am I? I'm coming up, right? Where is my site? We already passed that psychological level. I'm coming up on that midpoint. I'm gonna drop a psychological level on here. So we just gonna go through this like right here, okay? All right here. And now, so let's make it what color? We make them blue. So my psychological level is right there. For those of you all, we have a psychological training that is on, right? We have a psychological training on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, make sure you're subscribed. Go subscribe, Be Your Own Bank Movement. Spell it out, not BYOB, Be Your Own Bank Movement. Write it out. We want you to know who we are. So, but go to the website, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. See the video, psychological levels, and it's gonna help you understand what I'm talking about. Just know the more zeros it is, the more impact it has on the market. And so as we're looking here, and I want to get to this too, but I want you guys, you got to know this. So as we're looking, you can see where it's coming up on that midpoint, and what you're seeing right here is you are seeing where the market is reacting to those levels. And so you can also see the structure. Now, when we were zoomed in, we didn't see all of that. We didn't know where we were. So now I know that I'm facing an area where I can get rejected. This is how we knew we had to break through that zone early in order to get through there. So all of that, there's a strategy, time frame confluence, and then top-down analysis. We've been training on that for the last couple of weeks. So now what I want to do, each tool is designed, now what I want to do is kind of introduce you to a tool. Each tool is designed to identify something different in the market, right? The vibrato we use it all the time. We take these triggers, the invisible triggers that you see right here, because I need to go clean my cookies on my computer. So we take these triggers and we analyze them and we walk through the market. It identifies high probability trades. It identifies spots in the market. The harmonic scanner we use, those are reversal patterns that happen around the psychological levels. So the harmonic scanner identifies reversal patterns. It identifies those, so it helps you go in, like, where were we earlier? It helps you, that's not it. But but it helps you identify, like when we were looking earlier, this would have been the one from this morning. Obviously, it did not sell, which we talked about, right? So it closed out the channel. So this is why it's important to not blindly take a trade, but to be educated on what you're doing. And then of course, then we have what's called the night. I'm gonna talk about the bounce back. So when we come in here, and what the bounce back does is it identifies trends. It helps you find those trend reversals. Now, it depends on the market, or people send these out, what have you. So we're not blindly taking anything, but it identifies those trends in the market, okay? And so look at all the different tools that you have. So you probably saw, if anybody saw my video earlier, this is what I was looking at. So you have your harmonics, you got the vibrato, we got different tools that's in here, okay? With your high frequency Forex, you see these getting pulled all the time. And then with digital currencies, right? You actually have some that's in here. So, Swipe Coin, like I said, I was trying to go through those apps. Swipe Trades is the one that I wanted to pull. So make sure you have them downloaded, because we're gonna start going through those too. So you want that, and the only way you can do that is if you had the elite package, okay? So you should have the elite package, because you want all your tools. You want to make sure you have everything, right? You want to make sure you're completely empowered. So with the bounce back, it identifies like possible trend reversals. So a trend reversal, right? So when I pull it up, please still be up. All right. So in the bounce back, you notice that, oh, we got a new one. We might go analyze it. So let me write this one down, because we hadn't had one in a few hours. I was trying to see if we had some. Because I know, when you have NFP tomorrow, the market kind of pauses and it kind of waits on that. All right. So that's what it does. So AUD USD 0.74003. All right. So, okay. So now, but the one I want to look at is, we're going to look at this. So let me show you guys something. Now they do have in here, this is where, what this does is it scans the market and it finds a position or a possible opportunity where this is going to turn. Now, we're not trading over here the same way with the harmonic scanner. I'm not marking this up. I'm not analyzing it over here. I'm not doing any of that. All I'm doing is coming to get the trigger. You will understand, right? We want to take everything back to the vibrato. Take it back to the vibrato, take it back to the vibrato. And so you can actually see, right? It'll tell you when you got your call price, and it'll tell you how much time has passed since that's happened. All right. So you can kind of see how often we get them. It just depends on market conditions. And then there's also the sniper, right? We're not going to do a strategy, but this is, what does all what mean? Don't be sorry, ask your questions. What does what mean? Drop it in there, I'll come back to it. So, what time is called at? That's the time that, like, that's the time that the trigger happened. So that's it. It's just that's the time. That same thing with the vibrato, right? You can't see, my beautiful invisible triggers, right? My beautiful invisible triggers right there. So when you clean your cookies, when you log into the vibrato, it's very similar to this. Matter of fact, let me just show you the vibrato here. I should have it. Lord, we love you too. I greatly appreciate that. So want to make sure we have the BYOB cash out, and right, I don't know who made it, right? So when you see, you can come to the vibrato in here too. Now I'm just a creature of habit. Since I've been a part of the platform, this is the one I've been using. You go to imlwebanalyzer.com and you just put it in there, okay? So, but this is what they would look like on the other one, right? They're not invisible over here. So this is how they flow in, right? You see it's the same thing. So you'll see the call price. That's the price where the trigger happened. All right. So it's really no different than when we're analyzing over here. And then this is the time. This one gives you the UTC time because that's what's on here, but it also gives you your local time. Like it's like the local time it happened. So right now it's about 9:30 and this happened at 9:25. And so to tell you how long ago it happened. So we've had quite a few triggers come in just since we've been on this call, right? Quite a few. Interesting. Makes you want to go change the call and let's go trade, right? We don't normally get this many triggers at night. Like, should we do a profit call in the evening? So, but this is, so you can just look at how active the market has really been. So you can take these triggers and go analyze them. Now with the bounce back though, you have the sniper. Now, oh, you're welcome. Now, what I don't want you guys to do, and I'm gonna be very clear about this, do not blindly take a trade. And even so, like we analyzed GBP USD earlier, okay? I want you to understand that. We analyzed it earlier. We did not take a sale. We analyzed it with the potential for a sale based on what we got from the harmonic scanner. Now, did you say, based on what we got from the harmonic scanner, what we got from everything? So we did that. Well, this is the other one. So my other one's still not working. But, we did that. But when you look at it, you can see that, look at this. So they actually put it on here. They hit stop loss. So then they put some notes in here and then they hit stop loss again. So BYOB cash out is price action with a twist, okay? So you can see some markups that possibly might come through here, but what we have is like price action with a twist, you right? And you'll understand that. So when you're looking at that, because they triggered it for a sale, but we analyzed the market, we did that. So you always want to kind of take it back. I'm not saying that you're not talking about anybody's trading skills. What I'm talking about is your trading skills, your ability to analyze the market, your ability to utilize these tools, okay? So let's see what I have. And let's go back. Let's just go back to this GBP USD, right? So this, we already know it was marked up, okay? We know it was marked up. And so where it triggered for a sale, so this is our same markup from this morning. Okay, this is our same markup from this morning. So I can come back and if we have time, I'll remark it up from the beginning, but this is our same markup from this morning. And I just kind of want you to see the 3795, right? That's 37. So I'm gonna add these lines to it. Now, if you're a 111 on this call, do not be overwhelmed at my coloring book. That's why I said we'll go back. That's why we break the calls down. One is the basics, one is more advanced, and they feed together, okay? They definitely feed together. You got to have a foundation, but we still got to come put the roof on. Okay. We have to. So now, this call will be 2 hours if I go through it with all of that. So this is where that, that entry price was that they identified. Now we're going to put these take profits on here, right? 3756. And we'll walk you through in the morning. Like I said, if you're new, because we have quite a few new people on here, we're going to walk you through understanding how this markup happened. All right. I'm trying to make a point and then we'll go back and do it. We're going to go back to the clean chart. I'm just trying to point something out for you real quick. Okay. That's all I want to do. All right. And we'll go back to that clean chart. So our yellow lines, I want you to see how on point both of these tools were. Our yellow lines are the take profits that the harmonic scanner pulled for a sale. The orange lines, right? So we marked that up this morning. Our orange lines are coming from the bounce back, right? That's where they're coming from. So every tool said sale. Every tool says sale. Now I think, yeah, every tool says sale. So did I lose it? Let me stop. It's way over here. All right, every tool says sell. And so as you're looking right here, you can see that it didn't sell. This is why you don't blindly take it. This is why you want to be able to understand and you come through and you be able to mark up the charts. Do I have any questions on that? We're gonna go to GBP USD on a clean chart so you can see how you get here, right? Because I know you're like, well, how did you get there? And how does the bounce back work? So, but do you see right? When it says it hit stop loss because it kept buying. Harmonic scanner and the what you call it for a sale, but because you're educated, you know how many 777s I saw today on GBP USD? You know how many 777s that we saw? But I want to go back and I want to show you what they saw and how this works. Because the one thing a tool cannot do is decide if it's going to have some impact from, non-farm payroll. So this is where your skill set still has to come in. All right. So how do we get there? And what is it identifying? So let's talk about what the bounce back will identify. Well, first we have to talk about trends. And remember, we were talking about a top-down analysis where we started at the top, right? Instead of doing it by phase, step 1, step 2, step 3, it's kind of like a step 3, step 2, then a step 1. So it's kind of done in a reversal. And so if I'm looking, what I'm seeing is what it saw is, let's talk about a trend line. Okay, let's talk about a trend line. So I'm on an hour. All right, I'm on my hour. And here, I'm gonna draw a trend line. Now, how do I draw a trend line? How do I do that? Well, like that. No, but seriously, you see, what I want you to see is I have that one touch, right here. All right, I have that touch right here. And we're gonna change that color. All right, so I have a touch. And then I come over here and I have another touch. You guys see those touches? That's how I draw a trend line. So it's like I just start here. I come here where this touch is. So now I have 2 touches and I just bring the line out. Now I'm not trying to adjust the line like this or do this, right? And if you guys been with me for any amount of time, I will always tell you the trend lines has been my thing. That was always my thing. Like, trying to get it perfect on there. And then one day, it's just like, you know what? They don't have to be perfect. They just have to be, like your support and resistance lines. Yours might be a little bit different than mine. So I don't want you guys trying to go, well, wait, it broke through. And is it not? Is this, because this is what you guys will do. Is this right or is this right? Does it come here? Does it come here? Do I use the wick or do I use the candle? Right? Just draw the line. Just draw the line. And because it's about identifying what the market's doing. It's not about, the stop, just like we talk about a stop sign is not perfect. It's about identifying. So what ultimately was evaluated with the with the bounce back is it identifies spaces where trends are going to shift. So now if I'm looking here on an hour, I'm looking here on a 4 hour, we've definitely been in that upward trend, right? You would agree? Right? So in the academy, and we've trained on it and we'll go back to it. We'll come back and help you guys see next week, and in the mornings, the higher highs and the lower lows, and we'll come back and see that, but that is a trend. And for those of you all, as you kind of advance it, you can actually clone it and you can see where it's kind of hanging out inside of a channel. Market moves in channels, rivers flow in channels, market moves in channels. All right. And you'll be able to see how the market moves. And so what you're seeing, but what the bounce back identifies is, you see, this is a trend, and a wave normally has about 5 points. We're not going to, but basically you get a few higher highs, a few lower lows, right? A few lower highs, and then it'll change directions. Well, what it's identifying is we're overbought here, right? We're overbought, and the possibility that this should have came down and it should have sold, right? So we got our 2 touches. Then we got a 3rd touch, right? So that just means it's a stronger trend. The more touches you get, but we got our touches. Now we got 3 touches here. And so what it was looking for it to happen, right? So you understand what it was looking for to happen. So it was a valid trigger. I want to be clear. The trigger was valid. The thing is you guys will take a trade before the market is ready because you saw a trigger. That's why I say, even if it's a signal, no matter what it is, you still need to evaluate it. You still need to analyze it. You still need to be able, this is why the education is so important. And what we talk about, the premises and the foundation of everything we do is about education, right? That is how you're going to make the money. Now, when you're here, what'll happen is, and I'm gonna change this color, is it'll come here, it'll bounce, it'll kind of retest coming out of here, it'll come out, it'll retest the line, and then it'll start coming down and you'll start getting your waves, right? That's what the market does, okay? That's what the market does. Let me change this color. So, all right, that's what the market does. And so what happened is this never manifested. Like this never happened. It never came through. It kept going up. So it never pulled out. So you know not to take the trade. But if you're going to use the bounce back, if you're going to pull from the bounce back, understand that these are the types of things you're looking for. So if I was to bounce back over here, you see that this is where all of these things began to happen. That one from the bounce back probably happened about around here because of the time is lapsed. So, you know, as you're looking at it, it's been a little bit longer. You know, the harmonic scanner was around here, and we boxed this up this morning. And as you can see, it kept buying. And so, but nobody took a sell, right? Please, nobody took a sell, right? You on a 5 a.m. call, nobody tried to take a sell, right? Nobody. So now, as you can see that we analyzed it and it was never ready. Even when we were here, because what we saw this morning was it still had too much space and opportunity here with my stochastic to rise. So we understand that this is my momentum indicator. I had too much. So we knew it was going to come up some more, let me say it like this. We knew it had the possibility to come up some more because it could have closed out the stochastic and been held at this box. So we knew it had the possibility to come close this out, right? Which makes sense because it's still in that channel. So yes, what the tools identified was valid, but what you identified as an educated trader, right, was even more. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Because I know I'm giving you something different. Questions, comments. I want to slow down and make sure I get your questions answered. This is very important. It's very important. And let me show you on this one as well, right? This is very important. So I kind of look at this one and you kind of see that when I started getting here, now this one not going to be as, well, let me show you. So you see the trend is right here, right? You got a trend. Let me come to the hour. You see them better. You see a trend is right here, right? You got a trend line that goes right there. Now this one is not like what I was trying to tell you. So look at that one, right? I can put one here. All I need is I can make one kind of right here, right? So you see you got these trend lines on here, right? Any questions? Any questions, guys? I need you to ask your questions if you have the questions, because I want you to see, and what the bounce back identifies is when this should be turning around and be about to change. Okay, now you see it took a while before it changed, but then it did come down and drop. And so even when this one broke and then it turned around and it started moving up in that channel, right? That's what it began to do. Any questions, comments, because this is what the bounce back identifies. I want to make sure we got your questions answered, trying to show you how we get from that nice, beautiful, clean chart to over here. Oh, y'all don't have no questions tonight. So that means we're ready. We're ready to dive in. You're ready to go start using it, the bounce back. You're ready to dive in. But let's go ahead now. I'm gonna pull this other one. So what did it identify? Let's go back because we had AUD, USD. So let's do a live one on a 15-minute, okay? And it triggered for a buy, right? That's what it did. And you see all my stuff. So let's see, AUD, USD. All right, I'm gonna move this out the way. And we probably this gonna be a no-go. Can anybody tell me why this is a no-go before we do anything? Tell me why. We'll sit here in complete silence. Thank you. I'm like, okay. I know you paying attention. So yes, consolidation. What does consolidation mean? What does it mean? What does that mean? What does consolidation mean? Indecision, absolutely. So but we're gonna analyze it though, just for the sake of training. We don't know. We'll see. All right. So now if I look at this, okay, I'm gonna come up for a trend. Like I'm gonna come up for a trend line. Okay, I'm gonna come up to my hour. You can do it on a 15 and trigger it on a 15, but I'm gonna come up to the hour because I want you guys to see. So if I start here at the bottom, okay, right, I get my next touch. Now, technically, I could have went this way too. So it's not about being right or wrong. It's just about understanding, you know. So as I come here, I got my second touch and I put that trend line right there, okay? So what is identifying now? I'm gonna come back down. Let me widen this up a little bit. Well, for some of you guys, let me put the channel on here because I know some of you guys want to see. Well, what's a channel? Let's clone that line. I mean, it's gonna be at the exact same angle. And I'm gonna just kind of drop this on here. All right, you can kind of see how it's been kind of hanging out in there, okay? It stopped coming all the way up. So it's losing momentum, right? It touched it here. It lost it. It's losing momentum. It's not closing out the channel. It's losing momentum. And so what happened is you see where my stochastic started curving down on my hour, right? You see I'm overbought now on my 4 hour, right? I'm overbought and I'm trying to show you the inside of this channel, right? So do you guys see where it's losing momentum? Like it's not touching the top. The sellers are getting stronger, right? Sellers are getting stronger. Exactly. So now when we come here, you can see right here, okay, where we have that rejection happening. So that's the end. When I drop back down to my 15, now when we talked about the market was consolidated, you see we're inside the channel. We're inside the channel, but I have a lot of rejection happening here. So I'm gonna change the color of this one because I want you to see that this one is where we identified the consolidation, and this one is on a higher time frame is where we identified the rejection. All right. So now you know why it's consolidated. So let's go back. In my channel, let's start down here. So in my channel, we're in this channel. We hit the top of the channel, okay? We pull back. We got 2 touches right here. So we kind of pull back. So remember the top of the channel is always a clone line. So you can make sure it's at the same angle. So you see I touched it, right? It had a lot of force. It didn't even pull down. Came back, touched the channel. I lost some momentum. I'm losing momentum. I can't even reach the top of the channel. I'm losing momentum. I get up here where I get up here, and because I've lost so much momentum, I do not have enough strength to break through. Now, guess where we are? Let me show you where we are. Anybody want to take us? Anybody want to try? Where are we? 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 In this blue, where are we? Somebody, anybody, going once, going twice. You see, thank you, Pit Master, thank you. So I'm gonna start giving stuff away on these calls. And there we go. I'm saying, so I got my Pit Master, I got my crypto igniter, and we got Miss Brown coming through. There we go. So, oh, now y'all want to answer? No, I'm just playing. Yeah, we gotta have fun on these calls. It's fun to make money. So now, as you can see right here, right, this block is happening right here. So this is being blocked off. So now at the psychological level, I'm not breaking through because I don't have enough momentum. So when you see that trigger, right, it's very valid. It's just not ready. It's like that's why I said I'm walking away from it. But before I walk away from it, I was telling you what you're seeing. Like, why are you seeing this? How did the market lose its steam? So it didn't have enough energy to break through that psychological level, right? It just didn't have enough. And so that's why you notice that we bounced off of it, we broke off of it, come back down here. You see the rejection happening on a higher time frame, and you can see where it should be trying. Now, once again, let's get our path, right? If it does, right, when it comes down, it hits the channel, it's gonna retest, it's gonna break through, it'll retest and drop, right? That's how it does. Now, higher time frame, help me understand where the market is, right? And here you start seeing where you start to really get good evaluation, right? Good evaluation to determine if you're going to take a trade. And if we were going to take a trade, I would drop down to my lower time frame and I would get my good entry point. Questions, comments, testimonies. Did y'all learn something tonight? Do we need a part 2? We got to do this again when we get some momentum in the market next week. Questions, comments, testimonies. It's beautiful. Beautiful, absolutely. So now you know how to use another tool. Now you know how to dive in. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Now you know how to dive. You know how to dive in and use another tool. And I'm gonna tell you this, guys. How'd you learn how to swim? How'd you learn how to swim? You didn't learn how to swim by watching somebody else swim. You learn how to swim by opening up. You know, by putting your own floaties on. You got to throw. Actually, that's how I learned to. Actually, I think I almost drowned, but then I learned I'm still alive, so I didn't drown, right? And that's what we got to remember. You know, you didn't drown. You're not going to drown. It's not going to kill you to push the button. It's not going to kill you, right? So guess what? You're going to live to talk about it. You're going to live to trade another day. But it's your demo account. You got to push the button. You got to get in there because I know is you haven't done it before, but I need you guys to approach it the same way you learn how to drive a car, the same way you learn how to swim. I know all of us don't know how to swim. But at the same time, you have to approach it that way. You have to approach it that way where you want to do it. You got to be eager to learn it. And if you say you want it, that means you have to get in there and you have to push the button. You have to get in there. You have to push the button because watching me trade is only going, watching me take trades is only going to, you're going to watch me make money. That's not what we're here for. We're here for you to make money. I can't spend your money like you can't spend mine. But we all are here to make some money. And that means that you need to get in that demo account, open it up, start playing with these tools. They're here to do the heavy lifting for you. Dive in. Now, yes, are you going to spend some time on the charts? Absolutely, you are. But you're going to get to a point where you don't have to do it every day, right? You don't have to do it every day. The same way we talked about before. When you first learn how to drive, all you want to do is get behind the wheel. Mama, can I go to the store? Can I do this? Can I do that? Every time you turn around, we going somewhere, can I drive, right? That's how you need to approach these charts. Can I drive? Can I drive? You say, okay, that means that you must be guilty. You're like, okay, I hear you. Can I drive? Can I drive? Can I drive? And now you'll be like, oh, I need to go to the store. I don't feel like it. I'm not going anywhere, right? So, but guess what? That's because you know you had a skill set. And if you want something, you get up, you get in the car and you go get it. And that's how the market's going to be with you. When you want something, you're going to be able to get up, go to the market and withdraw. The market is your ATM. It is a personal ATM machine. And you're going to be, oops, Dr. B, I said it. I've been working on that. It's your personal ATM. How long on average would you say it will take to fully understand the concept of understanding chart? That's, hey, it's all up to you. How long did it take some of us to graduate from high school? Some of us, it took a little bit longer. Some of us were graduated early, right? Some of us, needed a tutor. Some of us did. So we all have different levels of understanding. But the reality is at the end of the day, we're all high school graduates. At the end of the day, we are wealthy. So if you focus on how long it's going to take you, as opposed to the determination for you to want to learn the skill set, because when I made the decision to learn the skill set, there was no 40 calls a month. There was no, right? You know what? She said, I need a tutor. There was no 40 calls a month. There was none of this. That we had the academy. And so when I looked at it, I made a decision. I said, if it takes me 6 months to learn how to take one trade, I'm going to do it. That was my mentality. I'm going to master this. If it takes me 2 months, 3 months, even if it takes me 6 months to take one trade, I'm going to master this. Now, you see people are trading for years before they're educators. I've only been doing this for 3 years. Are we even at 3 years yet? I've only been doing this for 3 years. And yet here we are having global impact, right? Here I am having created a strategy. Here we are, right? And so it's all about you and your burning desire that's on the inside of you. So I can't tell you how long it's going to take you to be able to be successful in the market. What I can tell you, if you apply yourself, commit, get on the calls, you'll be able to take a trade in your first 14 to 21 days, right? Well, thank you. Thank you. See, I love you and I appreciate you for that. 3 years and the best to ever do it. You know what? You just touched my heart tonight. So, because I greatly appreciate that. But I'm just, guys, I'm just here to tell you, you got to apply yourself. And if you do it, right, if you focus on the money and you focus on a time frame, then what's going to happen is you're focused on the wrong thing. What you accomplish is what you focus on is what you accomplish. So if you focus on learning a skill set and you're determined to learn it, then you're going to do it. So that should be your focus. That's always the focus, right? That's always the focus. And so then and that's what's going to happen. So any other questions or comments? Questions, comments, or testimonies? All right, so guys, no more questions. So I mean, if we need a if we need a part 2, we will do it. Like next week, we will have more liquidity in the market, right? And guys, remember NFP, NFP, NFP. NFP is a great trading day. If you've never traded an NFP, non-farm payroll, if you say yes, please, well, you got my word. So if you've never traded a non-farm payroll, do it in your demo account. You have like dollar signs. You have another trade day. Like you have another opportunity to take the trades. You will have another month. There will be another NFP next month, and one after that, and one after that, and one after that, right? So understand that get in your demo account and go watch the liquidity in the market that comes from a non-farm payroll. And so just go get paid is all I'm saying. Go make some money, even if it's in your demo account, because you got to practice the skill set. You got to practice taking the trades. You have to practice getting it done, right? You have to practice doing all of that. And that's how you're going to walk in the money. All right, guys? So this has been a phenomenal, but please don't go nowhere. Do not go anywhere. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I promise we're going to have a part 2.